So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the S&Q mode, which is available on Sony Cameras. And also I'm going to be showing you guys how to set it up, how to use it, and also give you guys an example of what it looks like at the end of this video. So let's get started. What's good, fellow creators? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark. Thanks for hanging out with me on another video. So S&Q mode, which stands for slow and quick, is available for Sony Cameras. So basically what it does is gives you the ability to record slow motion footage or time lapses in camera without using editing softwares. Now, I didn't really go over this on my last video, which is the Sony A7 III dial mode walkthrough, because I don't usually use this mode. If I ever want to create a slow motion footage, I actually do this in post-production. Now, one of the advantages of using the S&Q mode when doing a time lapse is actually creating a video instead of putting together some still images. Now, the other advantage of using the S&Q mode when slowing down is you're able to slow it down in camera instead of using an editing software and slowing it down in post. One of the disadvantages of slowing down a footage using the S&Q mode is that you can't use that footage and speed ramp that in post-production. That's one of the reasons why I actually don't use the S&Q mode that much, because I like doing some speed ramp effects on some of the videos that I take. And also when you're slowing down a footage using the S&Q mode, you can't really capture the audio, which it doesn't really bother me, but I guess some editors like to have that audio when slowing down the footage as well, just in case. Now, to set up your S&Q mode, I'm actually going to be using the Sony A7S III menu, but this also applies in any Sony cameras that actually have S&Q mode. You just have to look through the settings. The first thing that you actually have to do is put the dial mode into shooting mode. Now, from the main menu, go to the shooting menu, then to image quality, and go to S&Q settings. Now, the record frame rate basically means that this is the timeline in your camera. So you have the options of 60, 24, and 120. For those cinematic look, usually you'll have a timeline of 24p. For more information about frame rates, I actually did a video about it, so you can check it out up on the card. Now, the S&Q frame rates basically means that this is how the video is going to be recorded and placed on the timeline. Choosing 120 frames per second or 60 frames per second are great for slow motion footage. Now, choosing 1 frames per second is great for time lapses. There are other frame rates available, but I think the best one for the time lapse is the 1 frames per second. Now, it's up to you, test it out for yourself on which one you like. The S&Q record setting, this is actually where you can choose the bit rate. For me, I usually pick the highest bit rate for better quality, but it really depends on what kind of memory card that you have. S&Q exposure mode, make sure that it's in the manual so you can change the shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Now, this is important when you're planning on doing a slow motion footage and using 120 frames per second or 60 frames per second to record that video. You actually have to set up your shutter speed double that, which means that if you are going to use the 120 frames per second, you actually have to set up your shutter speed to 250th of a second. So let me just show you guys some examples of some footages that I capture using the S&Q mode. Now, if you guys want to know more about the dial modes on your Sony cameras, make sure to check out the video right here. And also, if you guys want to know how to set up your custom mode dials, you could check out the video right here. With that being said, keep being creative, keep getting inspired, and I'm gonna see you guys on to the next one. Peace.